What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and on the last day of the regular season, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves played a classic game, a winner go home to see who will make the playoffs, and the Wolves won in overtime, so I thought I'd break down some topics that fascinated me, the strategic battle with the Jokic pick and pop, and I'll spend a bit of time on Taj Gibson's outstanding perimeter denials on defense. So, let's get right to it. Let's start with the Jokic pick and pop, which was one of the key aspects of this game. And from the tip, it was clear what the Wolves wanted to do. They were going to drop Towns and drop coverage, and on the pop, have the nearest wing defender quickly stunt at Jokic. This play, it's Jimmy Butler, but you'll also see here that Barden does a nice job of cutting while the pop is happening. And Butler sees this and looks to take away the cut, and so what the cut does is eliminate the stunt by Butler, and Jokic gets a good look from three. In general, the Nuggets did a good job of spacing on this pick and pop, and here you see Chandler is in the corner and the wing is unoccupied. This is important because now on the pop, there is good spacing between Chandler and Jokic, and that makes it tough for Bjelica to stunt at Jokic, though here he does a good job with a quick stunt, then he recovers to Chandler and ends up stealing it from him. So that was a good job by Bjelica to stunt at Jokic, though here Butler doesn't do a good job as he jumps in the air on the stunt, really trying to steal the pass, and that leaves Barden open in the corner and Butler can't recover. The reason why I thought this was a sound strategy for Minnesota is because Jokic doesn't always pop. Here, for example, he does a standard roll, and with the drop, the Wolves are in their typical pick and roll defense. They have Butler tag on the roll, and then he can recover out to contest Chandler. All those clips were from the first half, and in the second half, Jokic started to get hot, and here he hits a pick and pop three. Let's watch this play again because there are a few things I need to point out. First off, it's a good job by Barden to take the 2 extra dribbles here, which sucks in Gibson and makes him commit a bit more, dragging him further away from Jokic. And then also, the Nugget spacing actually isn't very good here, as Murray is on that wing pretty close to Jokic, but you'll notice that Teague decides not to stunt. And you could say this was a mistake, but I don't blame him because 1, he'd be helping off of a good shooter in Murray, and 2, Gibson was recovering fast and he actually does contest Jokic adequately. Jokic just hits a tough shot. Another Jokic pick and pop, and this time on the wing you see the spacing is better as the wing is unoccupied, Barden is in the corner, and that makes it a pretty unrealistic stunt for Wiggins to go that full distance. And they can maintain this spacing because Millsap is on that block, which is a good place for him to be during the Jokic pick and pop, and Jokic hits another 3. Now with Jokic hot, he has more gravity. So in this pick and pop, Bjelica is actually dropping, and because he knows he has to recover to Jokic quick, he doesn't actually do his job by containing Murray first, and Murray gets a layup. So to me, by this point the Wolves should have adjusted to some other coverage, but with 4 minutes left in the fourth, they're still dropping with Towns, and Jokic hits another 3. Finally, the Wolves do change their coverage. They put Gibson on Jokic, and they're now going to switch the pick and roll. So what happens is you have Gibson switched on to Murray, which isn't an awful matchup, and you have Teague switched on to Jokic, which is an awful matchup, but notice how off the ball, Teague and Butler will switch, with Butler taking Jokic and Teague taking Butler's man Chandler. Anyways, Murray decides to isolate on Gibson, and he's just a bit better, shaking him and nailing the open mid-range shot. Again, a Jokic-Murray ball screen, and again, the Wolves switch and then switch off the ball with Teague and Butler. Again, Murray decides to isolate on Gibson and give him credit for hitting a tough step-back 3. So with 2 unsuccessful switches in a row, the Wolves try another strategy, the hedge, with Gibson hedging out, and he does a great job of then recovering quickly to Jokic, pressuring the post up, and the Nuggets don't get anything good on this possession. So the hedge worked there. Now we're in overtime, and this time Jokic has a counter to the hedge. So you see Gibson looking to hedge out there, but Jokic instead switches the angle of his screen. Now, Murray can go to his right and Gibson is behind the play, not able to hedge. This is good stuff and very tough to defend. With the backline defense, Towns steps up and Wiggins drops to take away the angle to the pass to Millsap on the baseline, so Chandler is likely open here, but he hasn't done anything on offense the whole game, and Murray decides to take the floater. He just can't convert. Gibson is still hedging this screen, and you'll notice what Jokic wants to do here is set a rescreen after the initial screen. So he wants Murray to go middle, and maybe there was something open there. But Murray decides to drive baseline, and this is cut off, and the Nuggets still get a post up for Jokic, but great defense by Gibson to strip it loose and force a tough miss. Overall, I thought the Wolves stayed too long with the drop coverage considering Jokic was hot, but they adjusted and took away his catch and shoot threes, which were killing them, and the hedge was effective on some crucial possessions late in the game. Now let's move on and talk some about Taj Gibson's excellent ball denials. And first, he denies ball reversals. So here you see the Nuggets look to get it to Millsap, but Gibson takes that pass away, and that helps disrupt the offense, and the Wolves get a stop. Look at the perfect technique by Gibson here. He has one arm out taking away the passing angle, and then the other arm out in case Millsap backdoors. And here again he denies the pass, and the Nuggets have to look elsewhere. This is a small thing, but the small things add up, and he also denies high post entries. So on this play you see Barden call out some sort of play, and Gibson is right there to deny that high post entry, and here he actually gets a deflection and it results in a Butler dunk. The Nuggets run some sort of horns play here, but Gibson takes away that high post pass, and the Nuggets still run some stuff, but it doesn't seem as fluid, and they eventually have to take a tough shot, which Jokic hits. Notice here how Gibson gets physical with Jokic even before the entry pass is obvious, and he forces Jokic to catch it out further than he'd like, and on this play T gets a steal. The drawbacks of denying these passes are that it can give up a backdoor play, result in a foul if the defender is too physical, and it can tire the defender out. But in this game, Gibson did not get beat once backdoored. I think he fouled once getting too physical in this instance, and it didn't tire him out as he played great defense, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime. Well, there you have it, guys. It was good to break down some important dynamics of such an important game, and in these coming playoffs, I'll do my best to make some high quality breakdowns. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.